Many readers will have attended their parish church for communion or Eucharist and know the appropriate stage in the service when communicants get out of the pews and form a line stretching from the altar rail back towards the bell tower. At this time, the organ may play quietly and the choir may join in with suitably modulated singing. Earlier in the service, the vicar will have estimated the numbers in the pews and approximated the number of wafers and the amount of wine to prepare. What may be less known, however, is that once that wine has been blessed and poured into the chalice, canon law of the Church of England dictates that it must not be put back into the bottle. This may mean that the vicar must then finish off any surplus. This fact may go some way to explaining, I thought anyway, the jovial cheeriness of incumbents as they are often portrayed in novels written during the Victorian era. This little known fact does, however, raise interesting prospects for those of us who sit facing east and who can clearly see the incumbents' ministrations when they're preparing the wine. After many years facing the altar, I have developed an eye for those clergy who have, how shall I put it, have such an overflowing charitable spirit towards their fellow man as to err on the generous side when pouring a bottle and its contents into the chalice. I have, however, also noticed that most communions are kindly disposed towards those who follow them in the sacramental queue. This being the case, they take small sips from the goblet, thus leaving plenty for those following. These two observations together alerted me to congregants who have developed strategies designed to protect the celebrant vicar from potential overindulgence. Such assistance entails them being last in the queue and thus in a position to drink the excess, thus leaving the vicar with the simple task of cleaning the chalice with the cloth provided, and with no necessity for him or her to drink sizable amounts of remaining wine. Indeed, on one occasion, a Red Marley communicant of my personal acquaintance, eager to fill the role of clerical protector, carefully positioned himself at the end of the queue. However, his cunning plan was thwarted as he failed to notice a wily old farmer sliding into the last possible slot with a cheeky smile and a knowing wink. Portley Parish is home to several aspirant wine busts, and only last month, after Evensong, the congregation had a barbecue at which a member of the clerical team revealed their role as honorary chaplain to a local wine club. This revelation excited speculation as to what benefits might thus be brought to Portley in terms of a choice of communion wine, and it was suggested that in addition to displaying the hymn numbers and the psalms, there might also be a board displaying the wine vintage of the day. But talking of hymn boards takes my mind back many years to Father O'Leary, who was famous for his bingo calling skills, with which he raised enough money to fund the building of a brand new Catholic church in our local town. It was opposite the Portland Cinema, incidentally. He developed a large personal following, and his popularity led to a dramatic growth in numbers attending Mass. Teetotal cynics, however, suggested the upsurge had more to do with the cheap beer and bingo available only to church attendees at the private club in the basement of the new church of St. Joseph. The priest, affectionately widely known as Father Bingo, was also suspected of using the hymn board as an indicator of some of the numbers to be called later. The suspicion was reinforced when on one occasion he forgot he was saying Mass, and announced, and the next hymn will be Clickity Click, number 66.